Yes, well, good morning, everybody. I will present the operative project. We have been awarded the bid, and we are waiting for the final inspection. We are presenting the intervention with plenty of photographs so as to underline the great deal of work that has been done. Let me start by saying that the renovation requalified energy, and it was also funded by European funding in 2014-2020 AS4, together with the environment and housing councils. We are a public body, and procedures for the call for bids were extremely long to follow and even to receive a funding. The project was started at the end of 2019 finally, and the call for tender was launched in June 2020 so as to be in time for the allocation of funds. The building that you're now going to see in the numerous photographs that are part of my presentation. Yes, this is the first one, yes. These are the first pictures we took. This is a typical building with 65 apartments, so not really small. It was built in the 80s, so not in the distant past. Anyhow, in a very short time, as the operators in this line of work know, many things have changed. And now we have Class A, levels of energy efficiency. So it was 65 apartments, as I already said. And very short period of time, it was really in retrofit and requalification, refurbishment, as normal for these buildings. And, you know, public bodies are scarce on resources and so tend to forget about the needs for renovation. Luckily, we have received numerous funding lines from the region, and so we have obtained support and help for maintenance, and we identified the needs of maintenance, and we found €1 million for these renovation works. So we spoke of €7 million initially, and we achieved an extra 1 million plus the resources that were offered by the ALER. As Ms. Vanacora said, we are ALER Varese, and there is a site also in Busto Arsizio. We manage 19,000 apartments. The assets belong to us. 14,000 apartments are ours, and 4,000 or 5,000 belong to the municipality, not to ALER. To introduce the project, let me first of all, though, say that I was extremely happy to participate to the project because, you know, for us, it really represented an opportunity that we wanted to seize and which allowed us to participate to BIM. You know, I'm an engineer and I speak of BIM. Yes, it's a project. We will follow up with a 3D software. It's not only that. And BIM is completely at a different level. It's a new methodology which has allowed us, you know, to enter in the detail of all the requirements of the buildings, as Mr. Daniotto already said. So thanks to him, thanks to the region Lombardy, that was, you know, the main link that allowed us to participate to the project. Thanks to engineer Mainini, who will then participate to the morning's work. I also want to thank the whole team at ALER. I see Mrs. Monti here, Vincenzo Politi, Andrea Monti, and now another name, Marco Gavarini. Well, thanks to him, what did we do? You see, the first thing we were asked was to present a BIM model of the project. That meant that we were asked to work on the building. The project was not so large, 1 million euro, so a small value. But participating to a BIM model requires a high investment. And if you don't participate correctly to the BIM4EEB correctly, it is meaningless. Well, I hope that Mr. Mainini will better explain what I mean. I'm not sure I have been able to convey what I mean. So what we did in practice is that we recovered all the plans we had in the archive. We scanned them, digitized them, and then, you know, since not all BIM models are the same, we worked on the one we were presented, and we worked with the toolkits that were made available and that we used for the project. So the project was made up of renovating and requalifying the outside coat of the building and the change of the windows and window sills, roller shades, and we had already metered thermal heat. Which were the we encountered? Well, the main one that really impacted all of the ALER organizations. You know, as ALER, we are able to manage interventions. So to start from the project, request for funding, call for bids, and intervention. So this is something we always do and that we always manage. Of course, we are working with small micro enterprises, SMEs, and therefore this million of euros that we had to be used with numerous SMEs. And it's very difficult to invest the resources Oh, yes, you want me to show the slides, and in fact, this is the 3D model on which we worked a lot. So small and medium enterprises were our counterparts, and they're difficult to involve in the works, and very, very low costs. The call was really at low values, low cost values, and those who participated to the tender or to the call really know that it was extremely difficult to satisfy that low level of cost. These are some of the pictures I was talking about. This is the building. You can already see how we intervened. One of the objectives was that of maintaining time requirements. Unluckily, as you know, we experienced the COVID outbreak, and so this did not help us at all. Some enterprises had to close because of many infected workers. So we are working and intervening in these buildings that are occupied. And so we really had to involve the occupants to better use the tools that were created. That aspect was extremely interesting and showed the positive approach that institutions had with the people living in the building. So the occupants participated willfully, even if there were some constraints. Of course, as you can imagine, it was not easy for them. ALER manages social housing sites, and so the occupants are quite dishomogeneous. There are many poor occupants, fragile occupants, and we went to great efforts to talk to the occupants so as to allow them to understand what we were going to do. You see, even it might appear banal, entering in the occupant's home saying you need to install these 4 sensors because we need to measure this, that, and the other. It was not always easy. Nonetheless, and Engineer Mainini is going to better explain the whole situation to you, we managed to achieve successful results. These are some other pictures of Via della Birona in Monza. We have a short video that includes also some pictures of the construction site. It was carried out and the first thing we did was to mount the scaffolding. And unluckily, what happened was, maybe you know already, in Italy, we are these situations. There were the possibilities of investing in this bonus that in Italy is called 110%, which is extremely valuable. But what happens is that it's not always easy to obtain it. And to obtain it, there are some price limits, price thresholds. Luckily, the company that worked on this building used the scaffolding over the 6,000 square meters of the perimeter, and they built up and down 1,500 meters of scaffolding so as not to incur in high costs and be able to achieve this 110% of the eco bonus that the Italian government has offered to refurbish and renovate buildings. Of course, mounting up and down these scaffolding units has decreased the speed of work, and there has also been an increase of requests to use this eco bonus funds, and the high demand for building enterprises has created a number of constraints in terms of slowing down work, increasing cost. So going back to this building site, it is quite a big building, so the intervention was quite important. The gray parts represent the stairways, the stairwell. For those who are operative in building sites, well, you all know that there are a number of situations that require impromptu interventions, and I want to thank all the teams of the Monza ALER organization because they were extremely good in the follow-up of the numerous interventions that were required. These are again the photographs of all of our interventions. Oh, let me just add that this building belonged to Class G initially, and we should be able to leap to Class D, maybe even C, by the end of the retrofit intervention. This building was made in 1981, and this was the class that construction sites stuck to. So it was normal, not because of social housing project did they build in Class G. So this project really improved and enhanced, thanks to the sensor installation, the microclimate that is achieved inside the homes so as to improve the comfort of the occupants. So Andrea, if I have forgotten anything, do pitch in, please. On my side, I have concluded.